Alright, so boom. Before I even get into the breakdown of the August Alsina, Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith situation, let me first start this by saying I could care less about celebrity gossip. I really couldn't care. If you asked me who August Alsina was before this entire debacle, I could not tell you. I didn't even know there was people named August. However, only reason why I'm getting entangled in this situation is because when you happen to be hypocritical and the fallout happens to have a bunch of people making an exception simply under the grounds of somebody's gender or the benefit of the doubt only because somebody has a high level of likability, it now becomes my problem. But let's dive into this entire situation. And let me say this. I shouldn't say I was usually going to. I always cite my sources and include the video clips of somebody actually saying something because I don't want to play hearsay or play telephone. All right, I want to give you the actual source straight from the person's mouth. However, on 2 different occasions, the Red Table Talk video in its entirety, it got blocked. The interview, I'm pretty sure that's YouTube calling me right now. You're disclosing information you're not supposed to. Shut up, YouTube! But the original interview between August Alsina and Angela Yee, that got blocked, so I can't use any clips from that. And the Red Table Talk clips, for some apparent reason, here and there, they were getting blocked left and right. So I'm going to include small clips here and there, but I honestly will not know if I'm able to post it up until the time of this premiere. So if you're seeing this right now, I might have been able to get by. But if you're not, well, it's about to be just a clipless video of me just expanding on my thoughts and going above and beyond to make sure that I can deliver you the facts of the matter. But let's start listening to some of the clips and what Jada had to say addressing the situation with August Alsina.
What happened, Jada?
I think it was about 4 years ago. Started a friendship with August. We actually became really, really good friends. And it all started with him just needing some help.
My apologies for cutting the Red Table Talk clip short, but unfortunately, given the copyright situation, I can't have the entire clip concurrent throughout the entire video. But I will have enough snippets to truly convey the message that Will and Jada were trying to put forth. All right? But let me just fact check a few things. Jada Pinkett Smith said she first met August 4.5 years ago. That is correct. They met in early summer, late spring, whatever the case may be. That is when they met. So she's not telling a lie right there. And let me introduce you to August, because a lot of people don't know who August is. First and foremost, he's a recording artist, but let's take a look at his backstory. While he was growing up, his father and stepfather addicted to crack cocaine. His father died when he was young. His mother kicked him out while he was young as well. His brother died. He was murdered, shot when August was 18. He's battled a liver disease since 2017, and this autoimmune ailment actually resulted in him losing his ability to walk. He was hospitalized last year. The child's mother of his brother died 2 years ago in a battle against cancer. His grandmother passed away this past April as well, and I believe he went 2.5 years without speaking or having a very good relationship with his mother. And how could I forget? This brother was addicted on opioids and actually went to the Red Table to talk to Jada about it. And we cannot forget, he was molested when he was a child. This is a brother who's gone through a ton of trauma. So Jada's gonna talk about how he was hurt and she attempted to heal. I'll be getting to that next, but I want to make sure that you understand August was a broken man by the time he got to Jada. Let's hear from Jada.
And it all started with him just needing some help. Me wanting to help his health, his mental state.
Before we move on, here's a word from our sponsor.
Oh my goodness. 300 people got their information stolen on the internet last week.
300?
300.
I ain't gotta worry about that.
What are you talking about, bro? You work on the internet.
Yeah, I work on the internet and I use ExpressVPN just because I work on the internet. I'm way more equipped than those other people, man.
The hell is ExpressVPN?
You got to get ahead of the curve. See, I talked about this last month. ExpressVPN is a virtual private network, and more specifically, they use an extremely strong encryption to make sure you can safeguard your data. That's exactly what I do, so nobody knows what I'm doing when I get on the internet.
Really?
You want to see?
Yeah, I want to see.
All right.
Let me introduce you to ExpressVPN. I use it to secure all of my devices with a powerful encryption to safeguard my data and keep my activity and identity private while I browse, stream, email, or download. I protect all of my devices with just one click.
Bruh, you showing me on the phone. You're on the laptop all the time.
Yeah, I got it on my laptop too.
What?
Yeah, I got it on my laptop too. Well, thank you for asking. Let me show you how you can navigate through your laptop, your computer as well. You can use it on the Apple TV, smart TV, things of that nature too. But let me show you how you can use it on the laptop. More importantly, on Netflix. This is what you do right here.
This is where I use ExpressVPN to my advantage. I can connect to servers in 90 plus different countries to get access to different shows. I live in the United States. Rick and Morty, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and South Park aren't available in Netflix in this country. All I have to do is use ExpressVPN, connect to a different server in the United Kingdom, refresh the page, and now I have access to these shows.
That's dope. How do I get that?
How do you get it? Well, pretty much what you do is you go to www.expressvpn.com/chiseled and you can find out how you can get 3 months free. Tell you, it's a deal you don't want to miss out on.
3 months free.
3 months free. Free 99.
Install.
I got you right now. But remember, I'm clicking the link.
Okay.
All right.
Alright. But if I get hacked, I'm coming after you.
You won't, and I don't need your name to make that guarantee.
When Og first came around, he was really sick.
He was really sick, yeah.
And the outpouring for him from our family was initially about his health.
Yeah, and I mean, we found all those different resources, to help pull him through.
Now, based on what we just heard, the nature of the relationship between August and Jada's entire family was to have him consult in them and truly confide in them in order to heal him from whatever he was dealing with. And if you look at Will's tone and his mannerism, his characteristics, he seemed as if the whole reason why he allowed August to come into their lives, come into his house, was simply under the grounds of making sure that August can now heal with individuals who are considered healers. He appeared to be extremely sideswiped from the fact that this could have transmogrified into what it's since become. Now, let's hear what happened.
From there, you and I were going through a very difficult time.
I was done with your ass.
Yeah, you kicked me to the curb.
I was done with you.
Yeah. We basically, we broke up.
We decided that we were going to separate for a period of time, and you go figure out how to make yourself happy, and I'll figure out how to make myself happy.
Well, at that particular point in time, it was indefinite.
Yeah, I really felt like we could be over.
No, we were over.
Given the information we just received, you can now deduce and confirm that they did in fact have a separation during their marriage. Why is this relevant that it's a separation and they did not go towards divorce? Because I believe a week after she had met, Jada that is, met August Alsina, Will had taken to Facebook and wrote this post. Under normal circumstances, I don't usually respond to foolishness because it's contagious, but so many people have extended me their deepest condolences that I figured, what the hell? I can be foolish too. So in the interest of redundant, repetitious, over and over againness, Jada and I are not getting a divorce. I promise you all, if I ever decided to divorce my queen, I swear I'll tell you myself. Dumb people should have to wear scarlet D's. So you can come to the conclusion they were willing to separate but not get a divorce. Now, if you are individuals who happen to be a power couple and you amass that amount of net worth, you shouldn't get divorced. It's rather counterintuitive to building your empire. You can always separate mutually. Go and do whatever the hell it is that you want to do, but probably come to an agreement that marriage probably won't be in your future, at least with other parties. But that's a topic for a different video.
One thing I want to get clear about and clean up, one of the things that was kind of swirling in the press about you giving permission. The only person that can give permission in that particular circumstance is myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission because we were separated amicably.
Yeah.
And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker. Which he's not.
As it pertains to what Jada just said, she's talking regarding August having to receive permission from Will and Jada having to receive permission from Will in order for them to engage in what she later calls an entanglement. But we must keep in mind, 2 years prior to the meeting between August and Jada, Jada had taken to Facebook to showcase to the world that herself and Will are engaged in an open relationship. But when you're in an open relationship, there should be a line of communication between yourself and your partner to disclose whom whichever party is going to be with. That way, there's an understanding and comprehension. So the public, who already had knowledge of this open relationship, felt as if Jada did Will a disservice by not disclosing this information to him. Because obviously, you can see throughout the entire video, Will was completely blindsided by the relationship between August and Jada. To be quite honest with you, I don't think that he knew it had gotten to this point to where August went on his interview with Angela Yee on August's page. It actually is up, the video that I can't put any clips because obviously it's blocked. He had said he dedicated several years to Jada. And once that came out, this is where my initial problem came with Jada. She denied it, and she had her representative come out and say it is all fabrication, it's all lies, it's all fibs, it's not true. But she going on to say this and pretty much counteract and be extremely antithetical, be the complete antithesis of what it is that she initially had said when she said it was all fake. She had this to say, and this is the soundbite of the entire week.
This is your red table, and you like brought yourself to the red table. I think you need to say clearly what happened.
As far as what?
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened?
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship. Absolutely.
Now, this is where the indignation starts to invigorate inside of my soul, because you first denounced what August had to say. You said that it was all fabrication and lies. You made sure that your rep came out, your camp came out and said this. Then you put out a tweet talking about, well, there's a need for healing. I'm taking myself to the red table. And then rather than just outright say that you had a relationship with this man, you start out by saying an entanglement in an effort to soften the blow to Will. Then ultimately after, when he calls you out, says call it out what it is, it's a relationship, you then say yes. This is the problem that I have with individuals. More importantly, consider the fact that this entire red table talk is done in an effort to heal other individuals. Whenever you go on there or you watch any episode, you see Jada talk to somebody as if she's the voice of reason, but she's not even holding herself to that same standard. Whenever somebody sits across from her, she always makes sure that they say what the truth is. When she was cutting Snoop Dogg in half for calling Gail Kim the B word, she made sure to cut him off at any point that he seemed as if he was trying to deflect or run away or shelter himself from what actually is the truth. But here, she's using other signal words in an effort to dodge responsibility. If Will never said nothing, she would have not called it a relationship. She would have just kept running with entanglement. Now, if you know what the definition of the word means, if you read between the lines, it's no problem. But it still is a deflection tactic. And I got an issue with that.
I'm in the Jada position right now, so,
Okay.
you know, you, during that time, launched into an interaction with August. What do you feel like you were looking for?
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good. And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with my codependency, which is another thing that I had to learn to break in this cycle. Just that idea of needing to fix and being drawn to people that need help, whether it's your health or whether it's your addictions. There's something about that childhood trauma that feels as though it can be fixed through fixing people versus fixing me.
Yeah.
And I think that that whole process with Og really showed me that and taught me that. And I'm really grateful for that lesson.
Release. You're not catching me in this genjutsu because that was utter rubbish that was coming out of her mouth. If you read in betwixt the lines that she was attempting to pontificate, you would clearly see this lady is a narcissist. Let's go piece by piece. First and foremost, she was talking about how she tries to heal other people in an effort to aid healing herself. She talks about the hurt that she was dealing with. But you already acknowledged earlier that August was coming to you, counseling with you, confiding with you in an effort to heal. So rather than focus on healing and aiding in fixing him, you used him to try to fix yourself. That is abuse. That is predatorial. Especially because this brother was 22 years old by the time he came to you, and you were 19 years his senior at 43 years old. Now, I know a lot of people like to throw out, but he's an adult, he's 22, he's no way he didn't know what was going on. This brother, I already listed off everything that he was dealing with. You're battling, liver disease. You're dealing with the death of your brother. You have your parents, or I should say your step-parents, who are addicted to crack cocaine. You were already dealing with opioids that you already, obsessed with. I shouldn't really say obsessed. It was more like addicted to. You came on the Red Table Talk 2 years, into the future. But at that time, I assumed that he was on the opioids because when he came on the Red Table Talk, he was talking about the times before that he was dealing with opioids. So Jada already knew of all of this. And despite this, her reasoning to getting into a romantic relationship with August was in an effort to heal herself, despite the fact you're abusing a person who's already broken. You cannot overlook this and attempt to be a voice of reason. And listen to the way that she's speaking. There's a whole lot of there's a whole lot of personal. This lady didn't care about August. He was nothing more than a pawn in her game to try to fix herself. This is literal abuse. Literal abuse. Let her continue to pontificate her utter rubbish, her horse shit coming out of her mouth.
Definitely understand why it would look that way or feel that way, but I actually don't look at it as a transgression at all. Through that particular journey, I learned so much about myself and was able to really confront a lot of emotional immaturity, emotional insecurity, and I was really able to do some really deep healing, and as I came through and started to realize certain things about you and I, he decided to break all communication with me, which was totally understandable. And I let that be and hadn't talked to him since.
Release. Again, the genjutsu's not gonna work, Jada. First off, you closed out your soliloquy by saying, well, you didn't speak to him since he had cut you off. Well, that's not true. He was on the Red Table Talk in 2018. How the hell you ain't speak to him in 4 years if he was on your show 2 years ago? But that's neither here nor there. If you listen to her expand further, she was always speaking about just herself. Oh, I learned so much. I took so much away from it. I don't view it as a transgression. I look at it as a healing method for myself. That's why August probably cut it off, because he realized you were manipulating him. All right? You came in here trying to be like conqueror of the sand. You just wanted to go and be a puppeteer, and the damn puppet happened to be August. This is ridiculous. This don't make no sense. And we're supposed to listen to you and just sit there like, you know what, that makes sense. Yeah, I agree with that. You know what? Maybe I heard her message misconstrued. This lady straight up emotionally abused this man who went through nothing but trauma growing up that carried into him being older as an adult. We can't sit here and make exceptions for other people. When a woman is abused her entire life and now she becomes an adult, if something happens to her and she's manipulated, we don't sit here and say, well, you're grown, you should have known better. We give her the benefit of the doubt and we chastise the person manipulating her, who usually ends up being a man, because when it's a man, we happy to throw stones. But all of a sudden, the genders flip. You clearly see this woman took advantage of this man, and we're going to sit over here and say, well, he should have known better. There's no way that you're a 22-year-old man. You get involved with a woman who's allegedly still married to her husband, and you didn't know the signs. You ain't know what was going on. The brother was broken. He showed up to confide in her. Oh, he should have sought some help. She was supposed to be his help. That's That's what they agreed upon. And turns out that he tried to end up becoming the help for her, unbeknownst to him. That's manipulation. That's abuse. But continue to talk, Jada. Let's keep hearing what she has to say.
So it is a little weird that all this stuff is coming out now, since this was
Yeah, because for me, this was years ago.
Wait a minute. You sure you want to say that, Jada? I don't know why all this is being brought up now. Our relationship was years ago. Word. All he said was he gave years of his life to you. And then all of the details started to trickle down from that one statement, and now you're exposed. And your immediate defense was you turned into Soldier of the Stone from Yu-Gi-Oh! Let me go to defense mode, that's my strong suit. And you said, man, I don't know why everybody's talking about it now. This was years ago, because they're bringing up the trauma and how you manipulated him. So your immediate deflection is to talk about how long ago it was, how aged the information may be. You sure you want to say that, Jada Pinkett Smith? Because there's a whole lot of different avenues this can go down, if you know what I'm talking about. Because if you want to silence somebody and take away from somebody's story and the pain that they may be going through, or the misconduct that you had with that individual, manipulation you had towards that person, the abuse that you had towards that person, under the grounds of, man, it was years ago, we moving past that. You sure you want to say that, Jada?
When I say it's been a huge healing on my life, and just what I had to confront and discover, you know, about myself, the ugly truths and the beauty. So it was something that I felt like wasn't really ready to be discussed, because it hadn't been that healing, because he hasn't wanted to, you know, Og and I haven't talked in so long, you know what I mean? So I don't know, this all seemed very strange, you know, but I'm grateful for the journey that you and I have had together.
Me. That's all I'm hearing from this. You talk about healing. There was no healing. You convinced yourself that there was healing because you've moved on from what you've done to this man. Homie ain't speak to you in so long, allegedly, because why would he? You're a narcissist. Not once did you even consider how the hell he felt. You talk about feelings, but you're only caring about your own. This makes no sense. Just call it out what it was. You used the man. And then you close out this portion of your statement by saying, but I'm happy about the growth and that me and you have gone through. Speaking to Will. You know what this is? This is the relationship where there's a breakup. The two people, rather than acknowledge the dirt that they did or what you've done to somebody else, now because things are good between y'all just move on through life like ain't nothing been wrong. But there's a trail of dust and blood and pain and misery right behind you, and the bunch of people who were affected by your actions. But rather than actually address that, nah, we just gonna move forward. You kidding me? But you said out of your same mouth.
And just what I had to confront and discover, you know, about myself, the ugly truths and the beauty.
What are you confronting, Jada? Who are you confronting, Jada? Because you brought yourself to the red table talk and you're still deflecting in an effort to make yourself sound better. Where is August? He should have been on this episode. Moreover, let's look at the omission of your mother and your daughter. Why the hell are they not here either? Why is it only your opinion and Will that are here? For every other episode, you had somebody else who's here to at least expand on the situation. But now you put yourself in an environment where it's only yourself and Will. And knowing that he's not really going to challenge you on your own show like that, you've since put yourself in a spot to where only you look good. You've got to be kidding me. This lady manipulated not only August, manipulated everybody in this situation, put out this farce of an episode, which is the shortest, I may add. If you look at every single episode of the Red Table Talk, majority of them, with the exception of I think 4 in the first season and 2 since then, not including this one, every single one has been 20 minutes plus. Majority 30 minutes plus, but this one only 12 minutes to confront where you've gone wrong. This lady's not even trying to take accountability nor responsibility for her actions. If you really wanted to confront your actions. You'd have August there to talk his side of the story. You've got to be kidding me. Did you extend the olive branch? That doesn't seem to be what the case was. This lady's not only manipulating August, or I should say manipulated August, she's manipulating everybody who's watching this with her spinning the entire story. You've got to be kidding me.
I don't want to go through this no more.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
Yeah. I'm going to get you back first, and then...
You gonna get me back. I think you got me back. I think we're good on that, okay?
Okay, that's probably true.
But, and I don't think it's about getting anybody back.
No, for me it is.
Okay. I'll give you that petty if that's what you want. But, I will definitely say it's just part of it.
Yeah.
If you expect to be with somebody for a lifetime.
25 years and counting.
We ride together.
We die together.
Bad marriage for life.
That's terrible.
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
In conclusion, I'll say this. This entire Red Table Talk was a big-ass genjutsu. It was nothing more than an after image in Dragon Ball Z in an effort to try to hide away what she did to August. The crimes, emotional crimes that she did to August. The manipulation that she did to August. Only to big up her relationship, to look at the strides that me and Will took. 23 years of marriage. You can't get this far without trials and tribulations. Bollocks. You took advantage of this man. He came and seeked out counsel from you. He consulted in you. You manipulated him in an effort to try to better yourself. And all that is rising to the top of the news feed. And now you're trying to push it back down by saying, look at my relationship. Watch my show. She said a whole lot of nothing in 12 and a half minutes. And to close it out with we ride together, we die together. Bad marriage for life. Let me tell you something. Stop putting these celebrities on a pedestal, man. Stop enlisting all of these celebrities as relationship goals. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. That's one of my biggest problems with this situation, if not the biggest problem. Because everybody was listening to J. Cole talk about that Jada and that Will love. Nah, bruh. It ain't what you thought it was. Stop putting these people on a pedestal. Because they ain't as good as you think they are. Everybody tuned into the Red Table Talk to hear great dialogue, but it's not. It's one person projecting their views on somebody else. That's why when I watched her, with Aisha Curry last year, and I listened to the entire episode, it's just a bunch of individuals who really don't know what the hell going on, so they're just putting out their own opinion about something, rather than have a conversation to come to a consensus to seek understanding. It's just, well, I feel this way, and people who agree with you, great. If you disagree, you ain't coming on the damn show. That's a goddamn shame that I had to sit through this whole thing, break it down, only to find out that there was no growth that was done. There was no healing that was done. It was only goddamn deflection. Put Jada Pinkett Smith into cover 3. She's hell on the defensive back position. Shorty can deflect anything. Don't throw at her. She gonna lead the league in interceptions, because that's all she do. Lady did not take accountability nor responsibility for what the hell she done did. And to August Alsina, I hope you're able to heal from whatever pain you may have gone through. Because this was some utter bullshit. And you ain't catching me in this genjutsu, Jada. That's all I got to say about that.
I was in a lot of pain, and I was very broken. Now, in the process of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself. Mm-hmm. And luckily enough, you and I were also going through a process of healing in a much different manner. Mm-hmm. I would definitely say we did everything that we could to get away from each other, only to realize that wasn't possible.
Well, this is disappointing. I attempted to allow myself to fall into the genjutsu that Jada Pinkett Smith was trying to catch everybody with, but evidently my visual prowess is far too strong. So, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna depart from this video, leave Hold My Nuggets Incorporated, walk to my game room. I actually don't have one. I'm actually sitting in front of it. I'm inside of my living room, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna turn on my Nintendo GameCube, pop in my WWE Day of Reckoning 2, create 29 Jada Pinkett Smiths, and eliminate every single one of them from the Royal Rumble, because this lady is stupid. Use your common sense. We see through your bullshit, woman.